It
or
is a
connecting
lot
with someone.
harder dating outside your race more than dating within your race. It becomes a lot harder because of family, friends, society. So, saying that, Peru, what are your negatives, do you think, dating outside your race? What has been negatives or bad experiences you've had dating outside your race?
So I've dated outside my race, both in South Africa and in America. This was Obama's America, so it was a completely different place. And it was, I felt like I had come to the motherland. Honestly, like I'd walk into a bar and I'd just be a pretty girl. I wasn't that Indian girl or like like I found in Los Angeles, my experience was that I was just a girl and he was just a boy. And it
It's
was
so
a
cute.
lot easier for us. Whereas, yeah, I've had some interesting experiences like stopping at a Klein Dorpie and holding his hand in a little shop and the looks you get. I've been, stopped in a shopping center with my boyfriend and like a lady shook her head at us. We've had, family problems, like especially with grandparents, not mine, luckily. Like my parents are pretty open and I think they've known for quite a while that I'm probably not going to marry an Indian boy. Sorry. But they're going to have beautiful grandchildren. So, yeah, but they've come to accept it. I'm sure they would love for me to marry an Indian. But they're not going to discriminate and they haven't. And with one of my exes that they got to know really well, they really, really loved him, and he was part of our family. So I feel like they've not really been the problem as much as society has been the problem. For me specifically, because I think also with the guys that I have dated, their families have been quite open. Possibly not like grandparents. I've met grandparents who refused to call me by my name or like just ignored my presence completely. But society, and it's weird because I found as an Indian girl dating a white boy, Indian people are the ones judging at me, like completely. Like it's very like, yeah, there are white people that look on and are interested or whatever, but I've never been like called out on it by like white people as much as I have by Indian people.
Melissa, what have been your negative experiences being with someone outside your race?
So I would say that because it hasn't ever gotten to a point where, it's been like kind of meet the family and we're in a relationship, it's mostly been like just very subtle, like microaggressions and like, very uncomfortable kinds of like jokes. Like I was once asked by a guy if I could twerk. And yeah, I've had like weird comments about my hair as well. So it's just, it's very uncomfortable. And, it took me some time before I got to a point where I would say, like, you know what, you can't say stuff like that. Like that is, deeply offensive. Like you really shouldn't go there. So yeah, it's been a bit of a learning experience. Obviously not like for the majority, like for the most part, like a lot of them weren't like that. There were just like a few outliers here and there. But yeah, it's stuff like that that kind of it makes you uncomfortable. It makes you just feel like it's like a piece of meat basically, or just like a little experiment, or like like a little venture into dating like a black girl. And like you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that black girl that these guys are dating just because they're curious. So it's it's stuff like that. It's just that weird curiosity, that fascination, that like, oh my gosh, like your skin or like your hair, or it's stuff like that. But learning now to just call out that kind of behavior, learning to also, in some instances, I guess I've brushed it off, maybe I shouldn't have. So I would say that sort of stuff.
The irony is when I think of twerking, the one person I think of is Daniela.
I know, right? Like I always have like a picture in my mind of Daniela. Yeah, she's a twerk queen.
And Julie, what's been negatives for you dating outside your race?
So for me, guys, I talk a lot. I know that, and I keep on saying like 12 vanilla lattes, and people think like, and that's the thing. When I say 12 vanilla lattes, yes, I do like my 12 vanilla lattes, but the negative that I get from that is when people say, "Oh, you only said you date white guys," and I'm like, I don't say I only date white guys. Just because I say 12 vanilla latte doesn't mean I just date white guys. But the negative that I get is actually from Black people, like Black females and Black men actually, because it's like, oh, but why are you dating outside your race? Why are you not going for us, like in your culture and stuff, or in your race? But why should I? There's no book on this earth telling me that I need to date in my race, and it's a preference. And then I feel like people people scrutinize you because you are dating outside your race, but you need to explain yourself. And the negative of that is you continuously, it continuously feels like I need to explain myself. And I'm like, but I don't need to explain myself. It's my preference, my decision, my life. And to add on what Peruru said, which is true, when I was in America, it don't matter what my race was. And especially in California, though, I don't want to say in all states of America, because if you go to like some places, no, they'll give you the looks. But like, because like in California, people don't care. Everybody is accepted. They don't care how you look. They don't care who you're dating. And there I felt more comfortable. I felt more home in a different country than I do in my own country. Because in South Africa, once again, it's like, but why? And then also people are so quick to say, oh, so you're not dating your race because you hate your race. Like, how is that possible? Like, am I not allowed to have my decision? And actually, there was this quote that I said, like, or that I saw on Instagram, and it was like, can you call yourself pro-Black if you date outside your race? And I said, yes, because dating outside my race doesn't make me less of a Black person or what I believe in. So
yeah, there are plenty of people that hate themselves who date, like plenty of Black people who hate themselves who date Black people. It's neither here nor there, really.
Yeah,
exactly. I get a comment all the time when someone knows I've dated a Black person, or I date Black people. It's, oh, he must be rich then, because that would be the only reason I would date a Black guy. Is he must be rich. There's no other way that I could ever think of dating a Black guy. What makes me really sad is I date any race. I've dated most races, and it's sad when you meet people or friends or family, and you're having a discussion with them, and then they make a racial comment, and then inside you're like, get sad, because you're like, oh no, like I really liked you, like I really thought we could be friends, but now like you already automatically know you're just can't be friends with this person, because they're never going to be happy for you dating a person that's not your color, or they you just can't be friends with a racist person. So it makes me like, really, did you really have to say that comment? Because I have plans for you and I. And I also think, my only negative, besides society and the experiences I've had with society, I feel like the only negative I would say dating outside my race is, it's just when you invite someone, not even just race, but different culture, to your family, there is a barrier there for them to connect with your family, where if you stuck to your own race and your own culture, your families automatically connect better with this person. And the same when you go to your partner's family, there's always a barrier there, or they'll be like, oh, it's because you're white, you just don't understand, or oh, she's a white girl, give her a knife and fork, or oh, she's, there's always going to be a barrier there with their family members, because you're not the same race or culture. They automatically put that barrier between you, which is sad because you want to feel a part of the family and you want your partner to feel a part of the family, but there is that barrier there.